Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the final episode in this special 5-part series celebrating 5 years and more than 250 episodes of She Thinks Big and really 8 years of my coaching practice. So I am doing this episode. I'm going to call it, done is better than perfect. I am trying to get it recorded before I head out of town for pretty much I'm out of town every week for the next 4 weeks. So I wanted to get this recorded before I go. So I just plopped down here into my podcast studio and we are going to do it. So over the last few weeks, we have talked about priorities and beliefs, team and systems. 4 of the themes that I have found over the last 5 years are very relevant to my listeners and clients and me. So today we're going to close the loop with one of the most, I'm going to call it complex and transformational parts of business, and that is money. Because money isn't just numbers, it is energy and metrics and meaning. So here is a question that I hear from women business owners all the time. Where did all my money go? And I sometimes ask this. And it's usually asked with frustration or guilt or confusion because it's not that the business isn't making money. It's that somehow our brain thinks it never seems to stay. So I've been there too. And I hear this from you listeners and from my clients. Also, shout out wherever you're listening from. Send me an Instagram DM and tell me, is it the car? Is it the carpool line? Is it a walk? Is it emptying the dishwasher? So back to the topic here. Early in my business, I'd look at what came in and think, wait, how did this much revenue turn into so little cash? And that question, where did all the money go, was the wake-up call that made me stop guessing and start leading financially like a CEO. So I'm going to give you 6 lessons here today that I want you to start to apply to your business when it comes to money. Lesson 1 is that money has layers. Money isn't one skill. I actually think money is 4 skills. There's the skill of bookkeeping, which is recording what already happened. There's the skill of financial planning, which charts where you're going to go. There's a skill around cash flow that tracks how much money moves in day to day, moves in and out day to day. And then there's the taxes that keep you compliant and grounded. And maybe I'd add a 5th here, which is invoicing. Are you getting your money? So these are all distinct disciplines. And as CEO, you need a handle on all of them. Bookkeeping tells the past, cash flow manages the present, financial planning creates the future, taxes keep the foundation steady, and invoicing keeps the money coming. And when you see those as distinct things, you are going to stop asking, where did my money go? And start deciding, where is it going next? Now, I have so many episodes on money, and it comes up in coaching all the time. I will clue you in that those are my least listened to episodes, the money ones, but probably it is the most coached upon topic. So that's just a little behind the scenes there for you. All right, lesson 2. Every dollar needs a job. This is based off of one of the core principles from You Need a Budget. And I do have an episode on this that we can link. And I think this is one of the simplest and most freeing money lessons that I ever learned. Every dollar does need a job. And when I learned it, it completely shifted how I think about money. And I probably learned this about 2 years in. So every dollar that comes in should already have an assignment, whether it's paying your team, saving for taxes, investing in growth, or paying yourself. And when every dollar has a job, you stop wondering where it went and you start knowing what it's doing. You move from reactive to proactive, from hope to intentional control. And that's how CEOs really think. So you've got to get this lesson down. Remember, all of these lessons are documented at AndreaLiebross.com/5, F-I-V-E, the 5 leaps in 5 minutes document you can get with all of these lessons, which brings me to lesson 3. Money is energy. So money doesn't create safety. I think clarity creates safety. But what money does is it creates energy. It flows toward focus and confidence. And when you invest your money in a coach, in a hire, or in a retreat, you're saying, I trust myself to make this multiply. And that's why I talk so often about cost versus investment. A cost drains your energy, but an investment really expands it. Money moves where belief leads. So if you want to know more about cost versus investment, I've got an episode on that too that we will link in the show notes. Lesson number 4. Money is where women struggle most. Honestly, after coaching hundreds of women entrepreneurs, I can say this. Money is the hardest thing for most women to understand and talk about and fully own. It really is where we hold our deepest fears and our strongest conditioning. And what's too much money, what's selfish, what's secure, we've got opinions. And I think it's also where we carry guilt and hesitation and a lot of embarrassment. And interestingly, because of these feelings that we have around money, this is the exact conversation that we need more of, because money honestly touches everything: your pricing, your hiring, your systems, your rest, and your growth. Because lesson number 5, money is metrics. Money gives you feedback. It really doesn't give you judgment. It just gives you feedback. Your profit and loss statement isn't a moral statement. Your cash flow isn't a character test. It's all just data. And when you look at money as metrics, not morals, you lead with clarity instead of emotion. Metrics tell the truth if you're brave enough to listen. Which leads me to the last lesson. Money is meaning. Money holds meaning. Every dollar represents a choice. The freedom to say yes to what matters. It's really not about saying no to what doesn't. It's about saying yes to what does. It's not about more money. It's about meaningful money. Money that reflects your values, supports your team, funds your dreams, and builds your legacy. And when you give every dollar a job, you give every decision a purpose. So before we close, I want to take a moment to celebrate something big together. Since this series marks 5 years of She Thinks Big and 250 plus episodes I shared with you, it means that it represents more than 250 conversations I've had with you about what it means to think and lead and live bigger. And we've recorded from closets, from hotel rooms, from a walk, from my office, from my awesome podcast room. And I've had incredible guests. I've had solo reflections. I've had client stories, and I've even had episodes with my kids. But what means the most isn't the number of episodes or the people that have listened. It's the ripple effect. Every download, every share, every message that says, I needed that episode today, that's the real impact. And every time one of these episodes prompts you to take massive action, I smile. So whether this episode is your first episode, I could actually cry, you guys, honestly. 250 episodes is a lot of episodes to record. It's really kind of just hitting me as I'm reading this final piece of the outline here for this episode. So, I am not a crier. Okay. So whether this is your first episode or your 250th, I really thank you. Thank you for being part of this community of women who are rewriting what success looks like. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for thinking big. And thank you for growing with me. I've grown so much over these last 250 episodes, and I can promise you that growth hasn't ended. We are just getting started. So, your Think Big homework for this week and the final assignment of this 5-part series. Number 1, answer, where did it go? The where did it go question. Look back at your last 90 days of spending, personal and business, and notice what aligned with your priorities and what didn't. Next, give every dollar a job. Even if you're not using software, you need a budget software, assign a purpose to every dollar that comes in next month. Number 3, identify your money gaps. Do you need better bookkeeping or cash flow systems or a financial plan? Name it. Name what you need and name those gaps. And then, most importantly, replace that judgment with curiosity. When guilt or fear comes up, ask yourself, what is this teaching me about how I lead? Because that clarity also creates calm, and the calm creates growth. So here's what I know. I know that 5 years ago, I thought money was complicated. And now I know that money is communication. It really reflects what we value and how we think. And when you understand your numbers and give every dollar a job, you stop chasing the money. You start directing the money. You stop asking, where did it go? And you start saying, here is where it's headed. And when you lead with your money, when you lead your money with meaning, it stops being stressful. I mean, for me, this is so true. It stopped being stressful and it starts being strategic. So, as always, if you're ready to feel confident about your money, not confused by it, not guilty about it, this is exactly what we do inside my coaching programs. Inside Activator, we build systems, decision systems for how you think about money and move money, so that your brain really feels calmer and your plan feels clearer. And then inside Ascension Collective, we refine your business. We refine your business model and systems so that money really becomes a reflection of your growth and not of your stress. So please come join us. If you've listened to these episodes, if you've listened to 5 or 250 and we're not working together, I invite you to book a call with me. The link's in the show notes, AndreaLiebross.com/consult. Money is more than math. It's leadership. And everybody knows that you are an amazing leader. And I'd love to help you lead even better. So with that, we close this 5-part series and we're going to celebrate the 5 incredible years of She Thinks Big. And here is what I've learned after 250 episodes. When you align your priorities, anchor your beliefs, lead your team, trust your systems, and steward your money, you stop running your business from effort and you really start leading it from belief. Thank you for being here. Thank you for going with me. Thank you for thinking big for yourself and your business and your life. And here's to the next 5 years and everything that's still possible. Okay, friends, until next time, keep thinking big.